So, welcome to We Can Still Be Friends. And today's guest, do you want to tell them how we know each other?
Well, I happen to be your father. Yeah, don't I?
Yeah.
How you going, son?
Good.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, like today, you got quite an interesting story. So I just want to talk about some of it. And you've been in and out of the system a bit.
Yes, I've been locked away for a little bit.
So I was thinking, we'll talk about that. So I think if you go back, where does like everything start for you?
It sort of starts from when I shot a home invader.
Does it go back any further than that?
No, all the trouble started from then. Because who he was in the system, it wasn't good for me.
Yeah.
He was a police informant that home invaded my home. He was supposed to be there to knock me off, but I actually got the better of him that night and put a few in him and raced him off to hospital.
So you decided that you raced him off to hospital after he home invades you?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, it's because I put 3 in his chest and 2 through his stomach, and his kidney comes straight out of his back, so he's in a bit of a condition.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to kill the man. I just wanted to slow him down a bit because I had you 3 kids in the house. So I was making sure that nothing went too bad, so there's no way you could have got hurt. So, yeah, I took the law in my own hands and shot him 5 times. Put him in the car and took him to the hospital.
Do you have any regrets about that?
None whatsoever.
You never think maybe I should have just finished it?
Yeah, well, I did think that afterwards because of Detective Laurie Lee that turned around and said I was better off shooting him dead and then I wouldn't have had the drama I had with the police afterwards.
Yeah, it's quite bizarre that you can in Australia, you can shoot someone or assault them in your own house in self-defense, and somehow you're the one that gets prosecuted for that.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't do jail for that shooting was because I actually pleaded in fear of my life. Now, if I just said self-defense, I would have done some big time for that, for actually shooting a fellow human being. Yeah,
because they were charging you with attempted murder. Hey?
Yeah. So I pleaded in fear of my life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the judge actually turns around and makes it self-defense.
Yeah.
You don't, because if you say self-defense, because he come at me with a machete and I shot him with a pistol,
You're over-defending, basically.
I'm over-defending.
Yeah,
I had to wait for the judge to turn around and say.
Right, so it's like not in the means of, it's not, like you're not justified in what you've done because it's too much.
Yeah.
But if he had a knife and you didn't have a knife, then
he'd be too much.
And then he gets the more severe penalty.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Isn't it?
It's so crazy.
Yeah, because I thought you could defend your family in your home.
Yeah.
And when you get home invaded, and apparently you're not allowed to do that. You got to turn around and try and call the police and say, "Hey, please help me." You know?
Yeah, like they're going to show up in time.
They're not.
It's not going to happen.
My dad used to say the same. I used to say, "Dad, I need a gun." He goes, "I'm not giving you one, son."
Yeah.
Right? He goes, "Just ring me and I'll come round there." I'm thinking, how's that going to help me? Dad? You know, I've got to be shot before you come round.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a bit of a funny life.
A little bit. And so you got suspended sentence from that one, hey?
They dropped the charges because they couldn't find the firearm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, so no crime, basically.
Virtually, because of the fact they needed the pistol to charge me for the offence.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So even though you admitted to the offence, because there's no weapon.
Because they couldn't find the weapon, yeah. Because of the fact that they wanted to charge me for attempted murder, not defending my own home, you know.
Right, and because they already charged you for it, they can't go back and change the charge.
They couldn't.
Right?
They just wanted to do me for that because he was the informant that was telling them information that they needed. So, yeah, they struck me off the card instead.
Yeah, wow.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that makes a little bit more sense then.
Yeah.
So I never really I've never really asked because
Yeah.
I already sort of had my own idea, but
Yeah.
were
you far off the idea?
Yeah, I didn't really get exactly how you managed that. To be honest, I had no idea. I thought it was just a suspended sentence, and I never understood how it worked out. But
they just withdrew the charges.
It makes a lot more sense. Yeah, so they fucked up basically.
Yeah.
Because they were greedy.
Well, they could have always come back and charged me again for it later, but they still can't find that gun, even though they have it in their possession.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ballistics didn't turn out.
Yeah, okay. Right. I don't know if we can say that, but
but that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's okay. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. All right, and then so years goes by, and you're always harassed by the cops during this time period.
Yeah.
But when's the next big one that you have with them?
Right. Now, what happened was the same person who I'd shot.
Yeah.
Was running around terrorising people with a gun and that. And, him and his brother shot up another motorcycle bloke.
Yeah.
One from one of the clubs, and shot up his house and that. So as soon as he'd done that, I went out and I bought another gun.
Okay.
An illegal gun. So, because I wanted to protect myself, because if you could go to a club member's house and start shooting it up, I thought he'd do the same to me, because of the fact he always said he'd get me back for what I did to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went out and bought a gun, and I had that gun for 2 days. I got raided by the police and caught with that gun.
Oh, wow. It's only 2 days. Wow, okay.
Yeah, I only had the gun for 2 days, And I got raided, and they found the gun. And so they arrested me for that, and then I started going to court over that offence. I got given bail, so I could stay home and that. I was actually raising you. I was a single parent back then, and raised you. And what happened was, in the process, we'd been going to court for about 10 months, and they come over to my house and they hit me with some papers and put me on the prohibition order.
Yeah.
They said that I didn't have my mind set to actually have a gun. They were worried that I'd run around shooting everybody. I didn't. I had the gun only there as protection to look after yous and me. But I went on that prohibition order, and then it was 4 weeks before the trial.
Yeah.
Right. We actually got raided, and me and you were there. We got told we had to stand outside.
Yeah.
And so we weren't inside for the raid. And next minute, they came out the back. It was about 45 minutes that they were in the house. They came outside, out the back, where they told us we had to go, and they said, "Mr. Lewinsky, you're under arrest." And I'm there, "What? What for?" And then he goes, "We've just found some shotgun bullets in the bathroom."
Oh, yeah, I remember this. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they found shotgun bullets in the bathroom. And I said, "You got to be kidding me." I said, "I haven't even got a shotgun." Right?
Yeah.
But they said, because they said, I said, "You won't find nothing," when they first arrived. And they said, "You'd be surprised what we'll find.
Right.
We'll find stuff before the other police units that came to my house, before they'd find anything." And I was thinking, well, that's, pretty sort of sure of yourself.
Yeah, that's a bit cheeky.
Yeah.
It's a bit cheeky.
And that's what they did. They actually turned around, they found 8 shotgun shells in the bathroom, hanging on the bathroom door, right, with no gun to shoot them, right?
Yeah.
So,
very convenient, basically.
Yeah. Well, as I said, there was 10 months of court first, and then they actually put me on that prohibition order.
Yeah, so
so I was on that, so it made things more serious if you got caught.
So let's explain what that is. So prohibition order in Australia is it's basically the cops' way of taking all the power away from you.
Yeah.
Because they can be used for anything now, can't it? So if they want to enter your premises at any time,
they
can just say,
looking for firearms.
Yeah, they don't even have a warrant. They can just come into your home at any point. Yeah. And they can search your car, they can search anything. From what I remember, it was 7 years if they find ammunition out of residence.
Yeah, 7 years for a bullet.
Yeah, that you're at. So that's not even doesn't have to be yours. You could just be at someone's home
I'd be
and
at
they
someone's
have it.
home, and if they've got firearms there and I'm not aware of it, and they get raided and they find a gun or bullets, I can do 15 years for the gun, and I can do 7 years for the bullet.
Even if that person owns a gun legally.
Even if he has it legally. I'm not allowed to be around them.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That means every place that you go, you got, have you got any firearms? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, all right then, see you later if I can't come in.
Yeah, what an awkward conversation.
Yeah, it would be, you know.
I mean, I wonder what the technicality is. Because what if you're on someone's grass and they decide to pull you up and they go, oh, well, you're on this property, mate, and he's got a gun.
Yeah.
Like, they can sort of abuse it however they want, really.
They can turn around and do the worst to you that it shouldn't be that way. You know?
No, it's a bit of a stretch, you know what I mean? I can understand maybe like you needed that like a long time ago, but I think there probably does need to be some sort of revision where like, okay, this person for X amount of years.
I should be psychologically
profiled as like,
and then see that I'm not out there.
Yeah.
Because every man who would have been in my position from that home invasion
would have done the same.
Would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, even the police would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know why they think I'm this terrible person for.
Yeah, I mean, you've never done any sort of armed robberies or anything like that, so to say that you're like a menace or something is a bit much, really.
I've never done any home invasions as well with a gun or, you know.
Do you have any, you don't have any assault charges or anything like that, do you?
No.
Yeah, so it's interesting what they class as like a violent criminal.
Yeah.
You know, and they can just slap that on anyone.
Yeah, they put me in that bracket and yet I haven't got a violent bone in my body.
Yeah.
You know, I don't, I actually don't like fighting and that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Always any confrontation that I've had, I've always tried to talk it out.
Yeah.
You know, because I find fighting and that, violence and that, a stupid thing to happen in the human race because we should all be friendly to each other, love each other. You know, I don't understand the violence. Want to take something off of someone and that.
Just all get along really, hey?
Yeah.
It's not hard.
No, it's not hard at all.
No. I think. Do you think that's come with age, though? You learning to accept people for who they are?
No, because I believe I've always taken people how they are. I've never turned around and done violent things towards anyone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I can't see it that way.
Just
I get disappointed when people become violent towards you and that. I actually become disappointed from them, you know, and then I just strike them out of my life. So
yeah, that's really what you should do, though, isn't it? Like,
just walk away from it all.
Yeah. See, I think when I was younger, I used to really thrive on it, and then as I've gotten older, violence is not really a part of something that I like.
It doesn't fix nothing.
No,
it makes things escalate to more. You know, so
because there's never no one's ever happy.
Yeah, there's no ending. So
even if you kill someone, I feel like eventually, like someone else is going to want revenge or something. It's just a big cycle.
Someone wants to be bigger.
Yeah. Like, how many people do you know that are big, scary dudes, and they go out to the city or something, and people just want to fight them because they're that big guy.
Yeah,
I've got heaps of friends that they're very tall. Yeah, and built, so they just attract these fights and arguments for no reason other than the fact that they're just these massive dudes.
I've got a few friends that are very big and very stocky and covered in tattoos and that, and they've always been attacked and that in town. And I'm talking like a mate of mine, Yays.
Yeah.
Well, Yays is as straight as they come.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah.
But he's a big dude. He's covered in tattoos, so people want to have a shot at him, you know.
It's funny how people perceive you based on your appearance. Yeah, you know, even like,
and that should never come into it.
No, it shouldn't. It's funny that I was fortunate enough when I was growing up with you. Everyone that was around me was tattooed, so it's never been like a taboo thing to me. Yeah. But I have noticed since starting to get tattooed now, that
you're looked upon differently.
Yeah. Just these like normal people, like these older, they're definitely older generation. They will look at you with this look.
Yeah.
Like
as you're a
bad boy. Absolutely. They just
Straight
think you're a
away.
scumbag or something.
Yeah.
Or they look away a little
Yeah.
bit and just think, I've never had this before. This is odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to die off eventually. Surely it would, but it's interesting to get the judgment.
Yeah. Do you know, like nowadays you see females with complete sleeves and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's very
she has a
attractive.
full arm.
Yeah. I find that attractive in that. With some of the work that's on them. Because I get amazed on what people can actually do with a tattoo gun.
Yeah, some of it
how
now
they do it.
is unreal.
Proper artists.
Yeah.
If they're an artist, how else are they going to make money if they don't tattoo? No one's going to go and buy your artwork, you know? You're going to have to have a gallery and all that. You know? It's just doesn't happen.
Yeah,
So,
it's not as accessible, that's for sure. Tattooing is just about everyone has a tattoo now.
Yeah,
and
just like your younger sister. She can actually tattoo.
Yeah.
Because she can draw well. And because she can draw well.
Yeah, it translates.
Yeah, well, what else is she going to do if people are not going to buy your artwork?
Get
your tattoo work.
People just don't buy artwork, do they? They buy paintings.
Yeah.
Like I've got paintings throughout the house.
Yeah.
That we like, but half of them are just canvases that have been printed.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, how many other people have that same canvas?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like pieces that are unique, but you know, you don't always find a nice, unique piece.
You just reminded me on why the thing started in the first place of the shooting, and that was because that painting I come across, the Portrait of a Rabbi, done by Rembrandt.
That's right. I remember the story.
Yeah. So I actually come across that.
Yeah. So you come across.
And then everyone wanted to steal it off me then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually spoke to a professor, Dr. What was his name? Dr. Lenore or something like that. She was over in America. She was a curator of European art.
Yeah.
And she spoke to me several times about the painting. She even sent the federal police out.
I forgot completely about this.
Yeah,
okay.
She sent the federal police out to come and see me about the painting. They took a statement, took measurements off the painting, and they talked back to Dr. Lenore and said about the painting and that, and then we would have turned around and been able to return it for the
10% of the value.
Of the value, reward money. And I took it over there with someone that I won't mention on who, but I took it over there to Sydney with someone, and it was like the immigration building. You take all the stolen art and that, you take it to there, and it gets looked upon, and they showed me how that painting was actually had all the little cracks where the paint was, and they actually fill that in with the same sort of colour. Yeah, it's called rendering the painting. So when I took it in there and they showed it all to me, they said this is a beautiful rendering job, right? Because it was the real deal. Yeah. But in the mean, what happened after that, after taking it there, the people that I were with caused a panic situation, and then kept on saying, look, we should quickly get on the plane and go back to Adelaide, right? So I said, oh, yeah, fair enough. So me and a few of the boys went over to the airport, and when we jumped on there and flew back to Adelaide and we got off the plane, I'm standing at the baggage area and that, and no painting come through. So we had to make some phone calls. The painting was left in Sydney. So it was out of my hands. Right? Yeah.
How long was it in Sydney for?
Probably 5 or 6 weeks.
Oh, that's a long time.
It was a long time.
Yeah, wow, okay.
So it took that long to get back. And then when I finally got it back, I didn't notice straight away, but the painting wasn't the same painting.
Yeah, I remember it being very different from when we got it back.
When we first had it,
I remember pushing on it accidentally.
So did the dog.
And it was so soft. It was so soft, like so old. Yeah. And then the painting that we have now, because we still have the painting, which is a print.
Yeah, it's a print.
It's definitely not the same canvas.
No.
Not at all, because it's tough like a new one.
If you remember, you're only little, Jonathan's dog jumped in the back of my car where the painting was. Yeah. And his paw pushed on the painting and it caused this big
Oh man, I'll tell you what. If that had been me, I think I would have shot the.
Oh,
I don't want to say anything bad about the animals, but man, I would have been pissed.
So I'm yelling at Jonathan, I'm like, get your bloody dog out of the car.
Yeah,
It was on the painting and that, you know.
Oh man, I think
So-
I could have killed someone.
Yeah,
Could have
yeah.
killed with someone.
And so that happened to him. I didn't remember that had happened. So when I got
Yeah.
the painting back, it didn't have that dimple in it.
Yeah.
It was completely flat. Right now, back in the day when they used to actually do that painting, and I think it was 1657 or something, they used to use charcoal and egg whites and grass stain and all that sort of thing to
Yeah.
colour it. Right, and what Rembrandt was famous for was that three-quarter view of a person's face, of
Yeah.
mask. So you actually seen it in several different ways. And so he was famous for that. Well, what happened was got this painting back and put it on the wall again. And I used to walk past it, and the eyes didn't follow you anymore because it used to actually follow you when you walked past it.
Yeah, I remember it
The eyes
being
used
quite
it was
creepy.
very eerie, yeah.
It was quite
creepy.
creepy. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember because you just had it sitting in the hallway
Yeah.
of the house, which is already sort of interesting in itself. But
Yeah,
I do remember thinking it was always creepy.
yeah,
You know, when we were
Yeah.
kids, because I was only very young when you had that.
yeah.
Yeah, I do remember. Very strange.
Yeah, well then that Dr. Lenore tried to say that she had the painting returned over there in San Francisco, and it wasn't. It was nothing like the painting.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a cover up, this whole thing, really.
Yeah, I reckon it was
Yeah.
I reckon back in the day, because it was a painting that was stolen back in December 1978.
Yeah.
Right, it was one of 4 of the Dutch collection that they had over in the Legion of Honor Museum.
Yeah.
And the reason they didn't turn around and insure it was because there wasn't enough to protect the 4 paintings what were on display. And what happened, a cat burglar came, he stole the 4. The 2 canvas ones came over to Australia, right, which was the Rembrandt and the Van der Veer.
Okay.
The Van der Veer was called the Harbour Scene. That came here, and the Rembrandt came here. The other 2 from the Dutch collection were done on bark. So they stayed in America
Yeah.
because the wood would have been destroyed coming over on the ship anyway.
Yeah, right.
So,
So it's just better to keep them.
It was better to keep them back in America.
Yeah.
Well, when they turned around, they said they finally got the painting back. Well, the painting was nothing like what it was, because when I actually looked up to find out what that painting was, to find out that it was a Rembrandt, I couldn't find it. If you just looked straight up as Rembrandt, you couldn't find it.
Yeah, I remember looking for hours and never finding
And
it.
it never came up.
Yeah.
You had to look for crimes 20 years or more.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
where it came up.
Yeah.
That's when that portrait of a rabbi turned up.
Yeah.
The Van der Veer of the Harbour Scene, that was actually, there was a break-in at a brick and break stop, right, at Morgan,
Okay.
right? And nothing was stolen from the shop,
Right.
but the painting was
Placed there.
placed there.
Yeah.
So a few days later, they went there and bought it from that place, and therefore they had a receipt.
Yeah, so
Before they had the
technically they own this painting because they bought
and
the
the shop
painting.
didn't even know it even existed in there.
Yeah.
They didn't even know about it being a vendor.
Yeah, I guess
Harbour Scene, they
$50.
just took the money. for it.
Yeah, I guess you can have it.
Yeah, so that's how they've got it now. That's down south somewhere. They said they valued it at 300,000 or something like that. The painting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because I know there's for that portrait of Rabbi by Rembrandt. Yeah. I know that because I researched it. This is going back a few years ago now, but there was discussions about them not even being certain if it is a Rembrandt and maybe being one of his
from
students.
The school. Yeah, from the school of Rembrandt.
Yeah, so there's there's very strange series of events with that thing already.
Yeah. They said that straight away as soon as they got stolen.
Yeah.
You know, but that was never mentioned before the paper.
It's quite odd because you think that these places are all insured anyway, so you want to get the most out of it. But, you know, they haven't done that. So, I don't know. It's odd. So, okay, so that's why, so you have the painting, basically someone comes to home invade us to acquire said painting.
Yeah.
You defend yourself in fear of your life.
Yeah.
And have the charges dropped against you in the end.
Yeah.
Years goes by, and then when's your next big run in? Your next big run in was you heard that he was
Yeah.
started to cause trouble again, the same guy.
Yeah.
You then
Went out,
purchased another handgun.
Another illegal handgun.
Yeah. Because you don't have a license.
I've got no license.
And then 2 days later, they find it.
Yeah.
They charge you, and
They charged me
then
for it.
they raid you again months later, saying they're going to find stuff after you've got the gun prohibition order.
Yeah, once they put that prohibition order
So
on
they're
you.
hoping to get you with another thing so
Yeah.
they can really put you in.
Yeah, and not worry about taking you to court for what originally was going on.
Yeah, they don't care about that as
they,
much.
They wanted to actually somehow put me in jail for a few years.
Yeah.
Mainly on the fact of shooting the home invader who was the police informant.
Yeah, a bit of a revenge sort of
it was
thing.
wrong, yeah.
Okay, so do you go to prison for that, or do you do any time?
I got put in jail. I was actually put in jail for that handgun that they caught me with.
Yeah.
And then we were going through and all the adjournments and all that, which was costing a fortune. I got an inheritance of my father, and all my inheritance money was going straight just paying lawyers.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I remember it being over 90 grand or something.
Yeah.
Something astronomical.
It was astronomical.
Just to keep you out.
Yeah, I even had to pay my lawyer while I was in jail. Money, or he's going to walk away from the court cases and just let me.
Can they even do that? So
Yeah, apparently.
I didn't think you could do that.
That's why I had to ask Lady Diane for another 15,000 to give him, so he'd still represent me.
Wow.
Otherwise, he was walking.
He just wants that money.
He already had over 100,000 from me, and he was going to walk on 15 grand.
He just is how cheeky, you know.
I just can't believe it because, me and you can't earn that sort of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not in a year's period. Wow.
So you pay him all this money. He keeps
more than money.
Does he keep you out, or do you get locked up on
No,
remand?
what happened was in the end, when they come around and found the shotgun shells for a shotgun that I didn't have, they arrested me and put me in because they put me on that prohibition order.
Yeah.
So they then threw me in because it was a serious crime about those 8 shotgun shells that weren't mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I kept on pleading not guilty. Right?
Okay.
Because they weren't mine, so I kept on saying not guilty.
Of course.
And I didn't understand because being on the prohibition order, it didn't matter whether they were yours or not.
Yeah,
they were on my premises.
They're just there.
I'm guilty because they were on my premises. I should have known what was on my premises, they said. Well, who knows if they didn't even glance at me.
Who searches anyway?
Yeah.
Let's just say this. Who searches every person that comes to their home? Because I don't know. I don't think I've ever said to someone that come home.
Yeah, come
said,
here, like,
yeah, mate, just
go and put their hands up, pat it down, and that. Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah, just squat and cough for me, mate. You know, I need to see. I need to make sure.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I have someone come around, I'll do that to them and see how far we get.
Or a metal detector.
Yeah, get the wand. Get the
Yeah,
wand.
they're all
Just
right.
wand them. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's funny.
Yeah. So you got. I remember you got put in.
Yeah,
for
so
something.
they found them, right? So what they done is they arrested me and they took me in. I asked for bail and they said, no, this is a serious offence, getting called these shotgun shells on them. So I haven't got a shotgun, right?
Yeah.
So the ammunition is completely worthless to me anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You can have them, mate.
Yeah.
You know, for free.
I've got some ideas on who owned them.
Yeah.
But I won't say, but
Yeah.
disappoints me
Yeah.
that they would have been the ones leaving them behind. I couldn't even tell them what colour the shotgun shells were, whether they were red, green, black, blue, whatever.
Yeah, you just had no idea.
They never showed me what they were. They just told me I had 8 shotgun shells.
Yeah, I think it was odd because I actually remember this. So they were found inside of a bum bag.
No.
Wasn't that a bum bag?
No, a deodorant bag hanging on the bathroom door.
Oh,
That's
like one of those body wash kits.
No, I looked at you when they said that. I just looked at you and went,
yeah, like bullshit.
yeah,
Bullshit.
And, that's when they locked me up, and I couldn't get bail because they said it's such a serious offence. I was thinking, you bastards,
Yeah,
you've got me over nothing. Like they weren't mine.
yeah,
Well, I kept on getting taken to court, and we done the firearm charge with the pistol, and they gave me so much time.
yeah. How much time they give you for that?
I think that turned out to be 15 months because of the circumstances of what was going on, because of my story, and because of the coppers turned around at one stage told me that they couldn't protect me in any way, and yet they knew I was going to get shot.
So the judge sort of took all that into consideration.
Took all that in consideration. I got 15 months because he said to me, he goes, "I'm really sorry, Mr. Lewitsky, but we're going to have to put you in because I said to you at the last court case when I caught you with the firearm that if I caught you again, or if you were caught again, you would have to do some time."
Okay.
So he didn't give me the amount that I should have done. He gave me 15 months.
So he could have really
put me in for
up.
a few years.
But so you got a good judge then.
Really? Yeah, I got a good judge.
Okay.
He was the same judge who had done the firearm charge the one before. You see. So he was very lenient with me in that because he understood the situation I was in. So he was good. He was good for me. And then I kept on pleading not guilty over the shotgun shells. Well, if I knew pleading guilty would just wipe it out over and done with, and if I had my mindset of guilty because they were in my house.
Not guilty because you owned them.
Because I was saying not guilty because they weren't mine. I kept on saying you won't find any DNA, you won't find any fingerprints because they're not mine, right? Well, what a joke that was. Because I got told by some other inmates, they turned around and they said, it doesn't matter whether they're yours or not. They're in your house.
So you're thinking...
You're on the prohibition order, they're in your house. I'm going...
So you're thinking like, they're not mine, I'm going to get off this, but really you are guilty because they're in your home.
House.
So
they're in my house.
I
was going, that's not really fair, you know. But so when I turned around, because we'd gone through court and I've been pleading not guilty for just over 12 months, saying not guilty.
And really dragging the system out.
Because I was waiting for forensics and the police were forever saying they're waiting for the forensics to come back. And the judge said, it's taking a pretty long time for the forensics to come back, you know.
Because they can't find anything on there.
Because my prints and that wasn't on it. Right? So they were actually a bit worried I was going to get off as well. But then it fell into the part of
the prohibition order.
I was looking at 7 years for those bullets.
They could have just said guilty, had it over with.
And so then that's what I did. And the prosecution weren't ready. They take me to court and they're thinking I'm going to say not guilty again because they were just waiting, trying to get something on me so they could do something to me. Well, they couldn't get anything. They had no evidence for anything. So me dragging it on by saying not guilty was just giving them more time to try and make me look like a person of bad character. So what we've done is I've gone to court and after talking to the fellas inside that, and I've turned around and they've got me in the docket in the Supreme Court and that. There's no, it's not called Supreme. That's the top one. What's the one under the feet?
Is magistrates?
No, it's above the magistrates.
Oh, you're really going to screw me up?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to Google this real quick, actually. Let's have a look real quick. I can't remember times before.
So when you look up the court listings...
Your districts, magistrate...
Districts.
District court.
Districts, that's the one just before Supreme.
So I remember the building really well. So that's the one sitting on
Google Street. Remember all the lawyers coming up and saying hello to me? Was I in this room and that?
I remember
saying
hello.
Why they keep saying hello? I'm there. They think I'm a very important person.
No,
you're there. Why is that? You're there. I'm there because of the Freemason badge on my jacket.
How weird.
They'll come over.
That's funny.
So that was funny that day. I actually got locked up that day because they didn't call me into the courts, and so I got done.
For missing the court?
They called it a bench warrant for me not going in.
Oh, you're kidding!
No,
you were in the building.
I was in the foyer there with you, right? They didn't call me into the room, so I just sat out in the foyer, and then before you knew it, all the court cases were finished. They were all walking away. I go, what's going on here? So I rang up my lawyer and I said, they never called me in and that, He goes, hang on, leave it to me, I'll bring you back. I said, all right. So he brings me back and he says, you're going to have to pass yourself in at the desk downstairs. And then, why is that? He goes, there's a bench warrant for your arrest for not turning up. I said, I was up in the court the whole time. I said, where were you? You're supposed to come represent me,
Yeah.
He goes, I've got all about it and that. So,
after you paid him $100,000 for the year.
Yeah, well, it's cost me, just for him to turn up and adjourn it, it was costing me $1,800 every time.
Just to get him serious? I remember his office is only just down the road.
Yeah.
It's like just there. Yeah. So it's funny.
He used to walk to the courts.
Yeah, he only has to cross the street basically. Yeah. So that's quite cheeky to just be like $1,800, mate.
Yeah, I used to ask him, are we adjourning it? And that? He goes, yeah, we are. So I'll just go and buy myself and I'll adjourn it then.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to pay that $1,800.
Yeah.
That's what I started doing.
Maybe you're just paying for his powder for his wig.
Just for his powder, yeah.
Yeah, his powder on his wig.
Oh, no, didn't have his wig on at that.
Oh, he didn't have it yet?
Not when he was adjourning it.
Oh, okay.
Not until we started the trial, on came the wig.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's why I was going to go down and solve his carpets and cut my own bloody wig and go in there, eh? Hey, I'm here. Black cape on and that, I'd be right.
It'll be a good look. It'll be a good look.
It would be.
Yeah, we've got your mullet coming out of that. And your they have their little rat tail as well.
If I was on a Spanish ship or something.
Yeah, that's it. He's being a Spaniard.
Yeah.
Okay, so you end up getting, so you did 15 months for that gun charge.
And
what happens to the shells?
Over the shells, what happened was the judge seen on how serious I was every time I went in there and pleaded not guilty.
Yeah.
That he knew that they weren't mine.
Yeah.
So what he done is he had to charge me because they were in my house. And so what he done is he turned around, he ran it concurrent with the sentence I'd already started.
Oh, okay, so you got time served.
Yeah, I got another month on top. So I've done just over 16 months inside.
Yeah.
And then I got put on 16 months parole.
Right, yeah. Actually, no, that was Home D, wasn't it?
No, Home D was before. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I remember.
Yeah, I've done 17 months.
You sort of cheated the system there. I was talking to someone else about this the other day.
Yeah.
Because you got done for. It's funny actually, but you're put on onto community service.
Yeah.
And I just remember coming home and you had so many people over,
all
like
cutting up the phone.
all cutting foam up at our house.
I didn't want to do it. Yeah, that's community service, eh? So my community service, you get all these rat bags off the street, cut the phone for me.
Yeah, I remember. And everyone's got, you could just, when you walked in, it's like this.
They were complaining about sore hands.
But you could just hear all these, because in the end, instead of the scissors, because everyone's complaining their hands are sore, you went out and bought all these, those electric carving knives.
Yeah.
For cut bread and shit. Yeah. So I just remember hearing like all the time whenever you come home, and they would just be like just smashing out the hours because you could just.
And knock quite a few hours off every time.
Yeah.
All over.
It's shocking.
I'd have half a dozen people there.
Yeah. There's quite a few going on. I do remember that. I remember that very well.
Yeah, so I was meant to be a boss.
Yeah. This is a phone boss. Yeah, maybe open your own.
I even had a big argument with correctional services over that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, what happened was Mitch got sick with her sciatic nerve and that. And
Mitch is my dad's ex-partner, but he has children with.
Yeah. And what I did is I went down to look after her and look after the kids because she couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah.
So I went down there and I looked after the kids and that, and done what I had to do. And so 2 Tuesdays in a row when I'm supposed to deliver the phone back, it's in a bag on the other side of the fence and they couldn't get to it. I didn't return it, so... And I was down there for like...
Oh, the phone. The phone.
To take it back. So he started talking down to me at corrections there in Elizabeth.
And is this your parole officer?
I had to go there and do community service there.
Yeah.
And I let him know that it wasn't safe for me to do that there at that time because people didn't know where I was. Because people wanted to get me over shoot.
So you got given an exception, and then you sort of did your own thing with it.
Yeah, I've done my own thing. And then what happened was I couldn't get the phone to him in that, and so my mate's wife Denise took me there with the phone in the boot, and because I walked up and he wouldn't accept the phone,
Yeah, right.
Right? He just wanted to charge me for all these things and that, so I could actually go through the court system and back inside.
It's a bit of a power trip he had, didn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, what happened is when he turned around and said all that, I said, yeah. I said, you really think I give up?
Yeah.
I said, I don't care what you think of me, or these charges, what you've got in your book about how bad I'm supposed to be. I said, I don't give a fuck. What do you think? I said, that's for your phone, stick it over your back and ass there. And then I had Denise going around there going, no, David, no, excuse me. And she's talking to him and trying to fix things up and that. Well, he took the phone from her.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it was said that every time I got more foam ready, she would take it in for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just
and he was okay with that?
Yeah, he was, but I kept on telling him he was a cockhead and that. I couldn't help
Just
myself.
tell him what you think of
Yeah,
him.
because he was being a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
I was doing what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean, kind
I
of.
didn't get to limited time, you know. As I said, I was looking after Mitch and the kids and that, so that's where my priorities lay, was with my kids.
Yeah, you didn't care about the
I didn't care what the law says.
Yeah,
you know?
their family first,
My
always.
family,
Hey,
always.
That's one thing I think is special about our family is that it doesn't really matter what situation it is. There could be anything, you know. I've always got each other's backs, no matter what.
I've always devoted myself to what it is.
Which I think is quite unique. Like, not a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
And as I'm getting older, I'm learning that there's other people out there that don't have that. You know, they don't have the love for each other.
You won't see anywhere.
Yeah, it's hard.
People, same as Miko and Jade. You know?
Yeah, well, that's it. People say to me, like, "Oh, who's your best friend?" You know, and it's like, "Oh, it's my dad," and they don't get that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like we won't have to see each other for months. You know what I mean? But it's always
nothing
really
changes. The love's still
there.
there.
It's always. I always feel the best and feel. I'm always the most happy. Feel.
Yeah, I should get happy too about seeing you. I'm very proud of how you become the man that you become. Yeah, I do. I'm proud of Kale and I'm proud of Jade.
Yeah, we're also starting to do everything.
You've done the right thing.
Yeah, Jade's starting to do all right, and Kale's just bought his first house. I did not think he was going to be the one.
No, I didn't think so either.
But he has proved all of us wrong.
He's really come to being a hell of a man.
Yeah, he's really stepped up. He's a dad now.
Yeah,
got a house.
Yeah,
and I'm proud of him.
Dad.
He is. He's you know, I couldn't do so much shit he's doing. So hat goes off to that man. Yeah, you know,
from being a landscaping sort of thing for the government to becoming in the civil service of using all those trucks and escalators and stuff like that. Yeah. He's come a long way.
Yeah, well, I remember when we were kids, he was just like, "No, I'm not going to work.
Yeah,
I'm going to be a professional doll plunger." That's him.
Yeah, so, but now he's really stepped up.
Now he's the first one to get the house, and he's doing this thing. It's good to see. You know, I never thought I'd see it, but I ate my words, and I'm glad I have. Yeah, I'm really glad I have. So that's good. So okay, you get charged. You do 15 months. You do community service.
Yeah.
And then how many years is it till you get in trouble again? Because I know you got in trouble again.
I did, but I don't want to really talk about that at the moment because that's still swinging. You know what I mean?
Is it?
Yeah.
No, because you did more jail time.
No, that was the last lot. That?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
No way.
No, because it was 10 years ago when I done that first stint for 6 months and then a month waiting for trial.
When did you go to you were in the Ark for one period of time?
Yeah, when I'd done 6 months.
And then you went to Murray Bridge.
Then I went to jail again and it was the Ark for a couple of months and then out to Murray Bridge.
And then you did Murray Bridge. So what was the Murray Bridge one for?
That was for the gun and for the shotgun shells.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that was the last charge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
The other one that is up in the air, what they want to do there. There's no evidence for anything. I find it completely stupid because they know better. If they didn't spend their time trying on me, they could have spent the time on who has, you know?
Yeah.
They were actually pointing the finger at me when they should have done their homework and done more investigation.
Yeah, it's sad.
Once they get an idea in their head and they stick with it,
Yeah.
They let the person who's really responsible go.
It's kind of it's a bit of an injustice there, isn't it? Because instead of actually showing justice for someone,
they didn't even question me.
Yeah, they don't even want to know about it. Yeah. They just want to pin something on
you.
They
want me to go down for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You got any stories for us from when you were inside?
Oh.
Because I remember one that still freaks me out today.
Just before Christmas time it was.
Yeah.
And
so it's like this time basically.
Yeah. There was an older fellow, older than me, who was in there. I don't remember what his charge was. And then they were across the hall, right? Because we were in single cells, me, this bloke, and a few others. And across from ourselves was they double up, right?
Okay, so you got the single side, and the other side's double cell.
Yeah. So you had two people in the cell, and then you had one on my side.
I do have a question before we go into it. Is it anything like the show Wentworth? Like, you know how they've got the
females, females prison is like that, very similar.
Yeah, or is your door locked when you go in? Is that what happens, or is it like just the block is open?
We've got given a key. We've got a key to our own cell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. See, I don't understand how this works. Okay, so
you got your key.
Yeah.
And it only works on one lock on the door.
Yeah.
Right. And so what happens is when you go to work, get up in the morning, you go to work and you either strip TVs or you polish floors or you cook in the kitchen. You do welding on some stuff and that. When you go do all that sort of stuff, you lock your cell when you leave your cell.
Yeah, you have the option to do that.
Yeah, you lock your cell up so no one can go in and pitch any of your stuff.
Yeah.
And you go to work and then come lunchtime, they let you go back. So lunchtime you come back to the unit.
Yeah.
You use your key to get into your cell. It's mainly to keep your stuff safe. And then what it is when it's time for lockdown, they turn around, they come, they lock the door with their lock and their key, and you can't open the door at all. So it's a setup. So one lock for our key, and then a major lock for their key.
Right.
You know. So
when do they lock you in there then?
8:30 of the night time they locked you in.
Oh, that's pretty late. I always, for some reason, had in my head that it was earlier than that.
Yeah. No, the Arc is 4:30.
Oh,
and you don't have a key.
That's what it was.
To your doors in the Arc.
Yeah.
But when I went to Mobilong, that's when it was like a big campus as you're at.
Yeah, it's like going to camp or something.
Yeah.
Really.
It was quite good there. And when you had time to do some of the things you did in there, it actually changed your mindset.
Yeah.
So some who were going to go sort of straight were going that way. It's the ones that didn't have that mindset that stayed crazy.
So it just enhances what you already have or what you're already thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember jail for you, personally, my belief is that it was nothing but good.
Yeah.
Because I remember you went to jail and it was sort of like good timing for me.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird to say.
I actually didn't mind going to jail because of the fact you got to meet your mother for who she was.
Yeah, so I, just for some context, I live with my father all my life. Dad raised me.
I raised my son.
Yeah, and then my parents split. Like your mum split when I was 4.
Yeah,
around that age. There's it's 3.5, 4.5, somewhere in there. Yeah. Anyway, so that you guys split up. Yeah. I lived with you full custody.
Yeah, and
then see mum on the weekends for a long time, and then as she gets different jobs and stuff, I start staying there a lot more often. So like for a week or so, because she was into mining and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So we do that, and then you're going into jail, and this is around the same time my mum got diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
So she gets diagnosed with cancer, and it was just like I never really got to spend a lot of time with her. And maybe I feel like that's a lot of that is my own fault anyway, because I was just so happy to be around you anyway, like, so nothing mattered like that. Like I didn't really think about it too much.
Yeah.
And then when you went to jail, I didn't have much of a choice, but to spend the time.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful that I did because I think I would have regretted it a lot more.
Well,
if I hadn't.
I'm glad that I did go in because it gave the opportunity for you to meet your mother.
Yeah.
Because I never hated her. I still loved her till the day she died.
Yeah.
But it was good for you to know on who she was.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Lady.
She was crazy.
So full of energy.
Yeah, she was so crazy.
And there were so many people here in Adelaide and other areas that just loved the hell out of your mum because of how she was.
Yeah.
You know, I never met a girl like her.
Yeah.
You know, meeting her in Cooper Pedy and bringing her back down to Adelaide and that, it done me the world of good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and biggest day of my life is when she turned around and gave birth to you.
Yeah.
And I cried my eyes out when you popped out. Beautiful scene it was. And as I said, she was so out there.
She was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I remember turning 18 and she decides like, oh, well, you know what that means? I'm going to take you to your first rave. And there we go. Like, there we are. She's completely cancer-ridden.
Yeah,
on chemotherapy,
yeah.
And we're at Stereosonic of all places.
Yeah.
And she out-partied me. You know, I wanted to go home.
Easily.
I wanted to go home by like 10 o'clock, and she's like, "No, we're staying out." Like, so
yeah. Well, she used to turn around. She said to me, "She go, I'm going to drink down the table." I said, "Oh,
yeah,
no,
she's always."
And so there was a pub that we used to go to back in the day. It was called the Crypt.
Yeah.
It had all these steps to step up to go out into the boy a bit and then leave the premises. Yeah. Well, she turned around and she was okay, you know, and then one more drink.
Yeah.
One more drink done it.
That was, wow. It's all over now.
Yeah, so I just have to pick her up and carry her like that and walk up the stairs with her and get her out there and get into a taxi and get home. And it was like that every weekend. She'd just have that one more drink too much, just trying to keep up with me.
Yeah.
And she'd go,
yeah. Good night.
Yeah, lovely lady.
No, she was great.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to spend the time with her. I think it's needed. You know, I don't think I would have regretted even more. Like, people ask you if you like regret like losing your parents, what you would have done more and stuff. And I think no matter what, even if the situation is perfect, you will still regret shit you didn't do.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much time you spend with them.
I got regrets of my parents.
Yeah.
Because both of my parents are gone now, you know. There were so many things I thought I could have done, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that someone turned around and broke into my father's house and stole my father's money and that, so he couldn't afford to pay for my mother's funeral.
Yeah.
So I actually paid for my mother's funeral, and I hate the fact that he didn't feel supportive, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, he felt less of a man.
Yeah, it did. It actually stripped him. So,
well, he does come from that era too, where very like hard.
Yeah.
I'm the man of the house. I'm going to provide.
He was born in 1936. So
yeah, it's quite some time ago.
The time, yeah. But yeah.
It's funny, like, because I have regret, but yeah, everyone does.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like learning
whether it's right or wrong to actually have that regret.
Yeah, it's a different thing together.
Sometimes you shouldn't be regretting that at all, you know?
Yeah.
But we put that guilt on ourselves.
The thing is...
And feel that way.
Absolutely, because the thing is during that time period, that's exactly what you had to do at the time.
Yeah.
And that is the right thing to do at the time.
Yeah.
And so if I went back there, people will ask, would you go back and change anything? It's like, I could go back there and change stuff, but it would be wrong because that would have been the wrong thing to do at the time because I did the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be for
you were there 100%, Kyle. You know, I knew you were. You held her hand as she passed, which was a beautiful thing for her.
Yeah, I'm sure she felt a bit safer with that.
Exactly. She would have felt more comfortable with you being there. You know?
I think so. I remember, so when it got really bad, she didn't want anyone to see her because she just wanted people to remember her, how she was.
Such a beautiful lady.
Yeah.
And she didn't want anyone to see her once the cancer got so bad on her.
Yeah.
You know? And I understand that too because of how she was when I first got with her and how she was amazing. She's just amazing, you know?
I think it's odd to me though because it's just sort of like part of life. You know what I mean? I think if I ever get really sick, I don't want people to. I don't want to hide because I think that's just a part of it.
Yeah.
You know?
But see, some of that was her partner's fault by saying he didn't want them to see her either. You know?
I think he was just doing what
she
wanted.
She wanted.
Yeah,
you know?
which is what she said though. You know what I mean? Like we tried to do all that.
See Dory, you know, so.
Yeah, there's definitely people she wanted to see.
Yeah.
There's definitely people.
Made it hard for them.
I think it was in some aspects.
In some respects.
In some respects, yeah, sure. Yeah. But in saying that, we all do shit when we're in that high stress.
Yeah.
And we don't know what the fuck to do and be in that situation, be in that position.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't have any anger or judgment against him for any of the stuff because we were all doing what we thought was right, you know?
Yeah.
And Mum never wanted anyone to ever see her the way she was. And in the last 3 days of her life, she couldn't speak anymore or do anything.
No.
So I can understand why she didn't want anyone to see her. But for me, that helped me a lot because I remember seeing her and I didn't actually look at her like she was my mother anymore. That sounds really weird to say, but
no, because
she had changed so much physically, and then the physical was fine because I could learn how to change that, you know, because it's the same person. Yeah. But when I got back and seen her for the last 3 days, she didn't even have the personality anymore because she couldn't speak and she couldn't do anything, and she was just existing.
Well, they say our body's a vessel for the soul.
Yeah.
And then at a stage where people with cancer and stuff like that, they lose that soul. That's all it is a person there. You know, it's not the person that is meant to be there because her soul might have already left.
Perhaps.
Just the same as my mother's.
Yeah, perhaps there's some sort of break there. I'm not sure. I'm not the biggest spiritual person, but if I was going to put it in that context, perhaps because all these people have this thing in common where they learn to deal with the cancer and life and death so differently from anyone else.
Yeah.
And perhaps there's some truth to what you're saying in the way of, you know, a piece of them has already moved on to the afterlife, you know, and that's what gives them the strength to stay here.
She would have been around and watching down on you for a while, you know, before she completely passed over. But that's how I feel because I'm spiritualist like that.
Yeah.
I believe in that side of life.
Yeah, I find it very hard to connect with it nowadays, especially the older I get.
I used to see ghosts in that.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know whether you ever see.
I don't. That's why. Because I've heard so many people.
We had three in our house.
You see, I've just never witnessed it.
Yeah.
And I've heard people talk about like after their loved ones pass and stuff. They see them. I never got any of it. I just never received anything. And I just thought I
believe my mother was there the night I shot that guy.
Yeah.
Because that was all planned. I didn't know anything about it. And then it unfolded about what was happening, and one of the people involved in it lived in my house.
Yeah.
He was actually unlocking the back door for him to come in.
Yeah.
I was still unaware.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe I had the spirit of my mother with me because it was exactly 12 months to the day that my mother had been buried in the ground.
Yeah.
From when she passed away. So I believe her spirit was there and her spirit protected me. I honestly believe that because there were some strange things that happened that night. That's just so hard to explain. Like when he had the gun in his hands and he's pulled the trigger, I was looking down the barrel and all I'd done was knock my glasses off my head and the bullet went through the bottom of the dishwasher.
Yeah, how scary
That's when I snatched it off him and then shot him again.
Yeah, well.
You know? Yeah, so.
That's intense. It was
intense. You know? We were both in shock. That's why it was easy to grab the gun off him.
Yeah, because he thought he'd finished it.
Yeah, he was like, what went on there?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
In saying that, I've had so many near misses with certain things, and like I just have this natural luck. I get away with a lot of shit. So
maybe it's your mother behind.
Yeah, maybe it is because I just have this.
Because I used to walk around and I'd get walk into a cold 2 foot by 2 foot square area. And then I'd smell this perfume, this Marusha or something like that it was called.
Yeah.
And that's what my mother used to always wear.
Yeah. Okay.
So I used to walk into blocks of that, icy cold blocks, just through the house. It was like, wow, Mum, how you going?
Yeah, how odd. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I know, I just never witnessed anything personal like that, but maybe it's a different way.
Is I'll take you back to this conversation about what happened in jail, because we'll have to cut this interview off.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
and then we'll make it another day, and I can tell you some more things.
All right, that sounds good. So let's go back to the quick story. I want to hear this quick story.
What it was it was a couple of days before Christmas, and what's happened is, for a change, we've all got given bananas for our fruit that day. Bananas, yeah.
Yeah.
Normally it was an orange or an apple or something like that, Well, this particular time we've all been given bananas.
Okay, right? and that's good in there. It's bananas really good in there.
Fantastic.
It's good
to actually have a banana every now and then.
Yeah.
And what's happened is a fight broke loose.
Yeah.
Down my part of the wing.
Yeah.
Over one bloke having a better looking banana than his.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's not metaphorical, is it? That's a real
edible. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
This banana.
I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that would do it over a different sort of banana as well.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I was dumbfounded when I seen the fight break loose. I thought, what the hell is this all about?
So they really had a punch up over a banana.
Punch up over a banana.
Because it looked better.
His looked better than his.
Wow.
Right? I'm going, wow.
Yeah, okay.
Well, then someone from the younger generation, what they done is they put their nose into it too, you see.
Yeah.
Now, what this fella down the end of my wing didn't know about this fella, what was on the other wing, still in the Murray division, he walked around with 3 shivs every day.
Oh, no.
So
hang on. Is the 3-shiv guy the defender or the attacker in this situation?
He turned around and he said to this bloke, right, to get out there and that, and it's still over this banana thing.
Okay.
It was bizarre. And so this bloke, right, thought, yep, no worries, I'll go out there and do this. While this other one with the shivs, he's already got out there.
Yeah.
So this other big fella, he walks out into the back part of the unit. And next thing you know,
I wish someone would show this dog up out. So hang on, I'll be back in a moment. Just pause right there. I'll be back.
All right. Oh, dearie me. Such is life.
Alright, crisis averted. I'll just cut this out, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Crisis averted. So, we're up to, so he's got a banana, it's better.
Yeah, better than his, right? So, in other words, this guy's got a longer banana. It's not got as many black spots on it. It's nice and healthy looking.
Yeah.
He's got this one, it's on his full banana. It's got a lot of black spots on it, like.
I'm sure.
Underneath those black spots is a little bit of horrible banana. Well, so it's a big argument over that to start on. Anyway, the 2 blokes, they've got actually outside. And the one who's got the shivs, he's pulled him out and that, and this guy was unaware that he was like
carrying shivs around.
And so when he's gone towards him, he's just gone and in his neck, just cut his voice box to that,
Oh, no.
Oh, it was deep, yeah. And then what's happened is everyone's split and everyone's gone back in the unit and that, back in their cells and shit like that. And then the guards actually found this bloke bleeding, holding his throat, And so next thing you know, we were all down on lockdown again. Right?
Yeah.
And no one said anything because it's not our business, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's right. You just sort of walk away from
someone's business, and it's going to happen to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's happened is they've turned around and they've locked us all down, and it was waiting for someone to turn around and say who did it.
Right.
Well, none of us were saying who did it.
Yeah.
And eventually, after 3 days, because we'd had Christmas Day and everything, all in lockdown.
This is just for Christmas Eve, really.
Yeah. So we were locked down in the cells. I couldn't even say Merry Christmas anymore.
Yeah, right.
Couldn't even have phone privileges of ringing anyone up.
Because of the fucking banana.
Because of the bloody banana. So what happened was...
Is that man dead? Is that the man die?
No, just had trouble with his voice, yeah.
Oh, he lived. Okay.
Yeah, he lived.
Oh, okay. I don't know why, but I thought he died for some reason.
No, there is someone who did die in jail while I was in there, but that's a different story, and I'll tell that story next time.
All right.
But what happened was he got rushed to hospital and that, because it got his voice box. And the guy who actually done the study and that, he turned around and give himself up. So after the 3-4 days of lockdown, they finally let ourselves open for us to go out and start work again. And
wow.
Yeah, but yeah, those 3-4 days, especially Christmas time, because I couldn't ring the news up and say Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
so I hated that, you know. I had my 50th birthday in there, and I was lucky that one of the inmates turned around, walked up to me, and he gave me a packet of chips and said, "Happy birthday." So
nice gift.
Yeah, it was. Well, you haven't got a lot of money in there.
Yeah, what else?
You know, you spend $80 a week there, and that's to buy your cordial back then, because you were allowed to smoke back then as well. So you bought your tobacco and.
Are you not allowed to smoke anymore?
Not anymore. No.
You're not allowed to smoke in prison anymore.
They've done the worst thing by taking smokes away from the prisoners. Not allowed to smoke there anymore.
Because I guess technically it's drug paraphernalia, right?
Everything gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's people who get drugs in there still.
Yeah, well now cigarettes are contraband.
Yeah. That's insane.
So, yeah.
Actually,
I've never done that.
Funny you talk about this. I did hear the other day that so people used to sell bupe in there.
Yeah.
Right? Which is basically if you're a heroin addict.
Yeah, it's an artificial heroin.
Yeah, you get given this shit to get you off of it. But people that take bupe end up getting addicted to the bupe.
And it's harder to get off of bupe than it is heroin.
Yeah, so it's fucked up. And the way they do this shit is when they get given it,
it goes under their tongue.
It goes, either under their tongue, or I've heard of other stories even, from even way back in the day.
Yeah.
And they'll get this shit in their mouth, and then when they get back to their cell, they spit it out and dry the shit out. And I'm guessing
then they sell it to the other prisoners.
Yeah, they scrape up and sell it. I heard of this one other technique, and they get a sock, a couple cotton socks, and when they have to drink the liquid form of it or something, also they mix it, and then they drink this liquid, and they have to throw it up into this sock, into from what I remember, they put this sock over the top of a milk carton, and they throw up into the sock, and then they get that liquid that's in the bottom of that, and they sell it. And there's these blokes drinking. Yeah, there's these blokes inside drinking this shit.
How desperate is that?
That's pretty bad. I think if you're doing that shit and you're buying it, you got a problem, man.
I've seen a few people buying it. I can't believe the fucking amount of money.
It's
not, you know,
disgusting.
This strip is only $2. You know, and they're paying $100 for it in jail. You know?
Yeah. It's like then they can cut the strip up and sell bits and pieces as well. Hey.
Because they get the strip that's dissolved in your mouth.
Oh, so they just spit this shit up.
You spit up.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it is disgusting.
Well, they're doing this stuff now.
You used to get meat packs and white ox and that for it.
Yeah, it's like a barter system.
Yeah, so you used to get paid for it.
There's I know that now the way they're doing it is injectables. So
so they can't
sell it. Yeah, but some company will do some gross shit. I'm sure someone's gonna be selling their spew or something like soon enough.
They'll work out a way on how to actually recycle their shit.
Yeah, something's gonna happen. You know,
I just don't understand.
I'm surprised. Like, there's a lot of shit you could probably do. Like, there's there's some bloke. I can't remember. Some rock star died from sniffing his own. When you defecate, he's breathing in his own methane. You know, just to get high. So I wonder if we go back to that. Yeah, I wonder if we end up going back to that shit.
I don't know, maybe it might be called cave paintings in that.
Feel.
All right.
Well, thanks for coming on, Dad.
No worries.
If you guys have any questions for Dad, he's going to be back on again, and we can continue talking about some of your times now.
Yeah.
Dad, you got a lot of stories, so it'll be good to have you on.
Yeah.
And we'll just.
And all of them true, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, that's it. Hey, it's a bit of a movie.
Yeah.
But it's fun to talk about it, so
yeah.
I'm sure other people want to hear it. So if you guys have any questions or anything you want us to talk about, let us know. And we'll bring it on for next time, all right?
No worries.
We can still be friends, yeah?
Yeah, always.
Love you,
Love you too, son.
Thanks, mate.
Okay.
I'll see you when you're on next time, eh?
Yeah, no worries.
See you later, guys.